journalism.
Yeah. Hi, I'm going to walk around because this chair is just too tall for me. Hi, I feel so much better. So my name's Mina, and I'm a freelance writer. But I like to refer to myself as a fashion journalist. Go ahead, you could read it. So I'm going to start with talking about all these guys here are like hardcore, and I'm like the fluff. So I hope I can keep you entertained. Can you guys see what's on the screen now? Does anybody recognize this movie? Devil Wears Prada. I'm so glad you know it. Yes, it's The Devil Wears Prada. Can you see this woman? Does anybody know who she is? Anna Wintour. Thank you, my friends in the back. So, has anybody watched the September issue? I have the DVD, I can lend it to you, don't worry. Okay, so it's all about the making of the Vogue September issue last year. So we have I'm a magazine journalist, magazine editor turned blogger, and this is the world I know. Do any of you read any of these magazines? Female, Her World. I put a picture of Rihanna topless for the guys, so. But, okay, that's all good. This is the world I grew up in, and at least in my adulthood. And when I first entered the fashion industry about 10 years ago, magazines had absolute authority over trends, and it was a one-way communication. And now everything has changed. Do any of you know this gentleman?
Brian Boy.
Wow, awesome. And this here is you see this, I'm sure you can't see the bag well, but that is a bag designed by Marc Jacobs, who, gentleman, is a very famous designer. He designed this bag and he called it the BB bag for Brian Boy. And that in the fashion world is like getting a Nobel Prize, okay? Getting a bag named after you is the shit. Okay. Is it okay for me to cuss this early? All right. Now, have you heard of this girl? This is a 13-year-old fashion blogger. Her name is Tabby, and she is rocking the fashion world right now. Many of you may not have heard of her, but a lot of the people in the fashion industry are simply going gaga. She is at the front row of fashion shows. She gets invited to Comme des Garçons parties in Tokyo. Hello, don't they have my number? But she is making a huge splash. And mind you, she started blogging when she was 11. She is now 13. She hasn't even had her prom yet. She has homework, whereas we have to go to work and stuff, but this is her. So to me, the future is the rise of these econs. Econs being electronic icons, electronic style icons. And it's happening across different industries, different genres, but with the fashion industry, it's something so different because fashion journalism is now undergoing a democratization. So the playing field's getting leveled, everybody is talking to each other, whereas before we had Anna Wintour in her ivory tower telling us, you wear blue, no, you can wear shoulders. And now everybody's talking about what trends to wear, and we're sharing the trends. So yeah, before, if you wanted to sit at the front row of a fashion show in Milan or Paris, you had to work your way up. And now, of course, this damn sunlight. You'll see that the bloggers of the last spring-summer shows, which are last September, you had Anna Wintour sitting right next to Brian Boy, and that never happens. I swear, I've never sat next to Anna Wintour. I've been front row, but I was always like in the end where I couldn't see the whole of the front, the runway, or I was always like in the second row behind someone much taller than me, and then I couldn't get any good pictures. So that just goes to show how level the playing field has become. So where did these bloggers come from? We all know it's because everybody now has access to the internet. These are basically fashion enthusiasts with laptops or HP minis, and they get online, they get a domain name, and word of mouth, spreads like wildfire, and presto, you have an instant editor, an instant model, an instant photographer, and all these fashion gurus. It's about a fashion democracy, right? So we have the old school, Anna Wintour, me, A lot of these other editors, I like to call them like the Madonnas of fashion journalism, you know? Then we have the new school, who are like the Lady Gagas, Brian Boyd, Tabbies. So we have these two schools where you have one-way communication and now a lot of interactivity. So what's the good, the bad, and the fugly? One, we love that there's so much new talent. And we wouldn't have known this 13-year-old girl if she didn't have the internet, if she didn't have access to all this technology. So thank God for that. And of course, that's a lot of entertainment for us. These two girls, you can't see them very well, but they're Singapore bloggers. Their names are Steffi and Dottie, and they run Fashion Nation, and they are pretty popular here now. What we don't love so much about this whole new technology thing is you get a lot of rubbish. You give power to the people, and you get a whole lot of suck sometimes. So there is a good and a bad, and we take the good and the bad with us. So what's happened is the fashion industry has just kind of learned to accept. You know, you can't beat them, so you join them, and we all try to work together in a symbiotic relationships. Are econs here to stay? I think so. They're part of the publicity machine now. I mean, we need, now they've established relationships with designers, and I think it can only go further. Are bloggers taking over the fashion world? Will Anna Wintour lose her job to Brian Boyd? Who knows? So I don't know if we're going to say goodbye to Vogue just yet, but I don't think we're going to say goodbye to bloggers either. So I'm going to continue this discussion on my blog. I hope to see you guys there. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mina. Definitely a different spin on what the future is. Fashion journalism and the rise of the econs, of whom we have a few in this room actually. So we're looking forward to hearing from you when we open the floor up to questions and discussion later.